Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Polywine, where we'd like to take a deep dive into stories pulled from the media and have a fun time while breaking it down. I'm Jillian, and let's get into it. And Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2025. I have a feeling it's going to be a good year. I'm feeling the vibe of 25, so let's get into it. But I first want to take an opportunity and thank everyone who has been a follower, a supporter of the Polywine podcast in 2024. I cannot thank you enough. You've listened to us, you've followed us, you've subscribed, you've shared, you've liked. You've done everything. You have been amazing, and I cannot thank you enough. So thank you from the Polywine podcast, and let's bring in 2025 on a high note, right? And the exciting thing is in 2025, I'm listening to you, and we will be bringing you a lot more. So let's do it. And let's get into it. So 2025, let's kick it off here in the Mid-Atlantic region. We are getting our first large snowstorm of the year and of the season, really. And it's been a long time. So we are very excited. We are enjoying it. Especially after the holidays, to give us a little bit of an extended long period coming off the New Year celebration. So loving that. DC's pretty much shut down right now. We don't handle this type of precipitation very well. Pardon me, I'm stumbling over my words a bit. But it's great. You know, everybody's out enjoying it, shoveling, the kids are out playing, snowboarding, sled riding, all that stuff. It's awesome. So enjoy it. By tomorrow, I'm sure we'll all start to get it a little bit antsy and we'll be ready to get back to our routines. But for today, it's great. We're having a good time. So here, that is a great way to kick off the new year. However, with that excitement here, and it's affecting a lot of people, it's a big nor'easter. It's been moving through for days, so it's affecting a large portion. But in this area where I am, we're having a good time. It's a big one. I think this has been about 5 years since we've had any accumulation like that. So it's been some time, so it's exciting. Now, like I was going to say, now with that exciting news, there is a flip side. Unfortunately, I have some bad news to talk about. In starting off the new year, we had an attack in New Orleans. Domestic terrorism is what that has been called by the authorities now. There was an accident that killed and took the lives of 14 innocent people, 15 people if you include the attacker were in total, but 14 innocent people's lives were taken way too soon on the attack of New Orleans. A car rushed down Bourbon Street, ran down many people, and then once the car was stopped by barricades and police, the attacker got out, started shooting, injured others. I believe there's still, I don't know how many others were injured. I just know 15 lives totaled are deceased. Many others were injured. I don't know how many are still in the hospital. I have no idea, but it's just an absolute tragedy. And to know that it's a domestic terrorism, like I said, is what the authorities are calling it. It just takes this whole other level of just unsettling, disturbedness. I don't know. It's just tragic and it's horrific. And I hate to talk about a story like this again. It's just so sad. And then following that, then we had the other attack where they had the car explosion at the Trump International Hotel in Vegas. People were injured. The attacker took his own life. But it's a scary situation here in DC. We had a weird situation where somebody pulled up and parked on the side of the road or side of the street, close to a federal building where you're not supposed to. So there was, things were shut down for a while there. It was a little unsettling there, but totally unrelated. Everything ended up being fine. But these are crazy times. These are crazy times. If you see something say something. There are a lot of large events coming up. We just, like I said, I still can't believe that New Orleans still went through with the Super Bowl, or the Sugar Bowl, following the attack in New Orleans. The fact that they opened up Bourbon Street 36 hours, I think it was like 36 hours after a terrorist attack, boggles my mind. I mean, to me, I don't understand how that's not still an active crime scene. How it just, not only was there the car, then there was the shooting, then they found multiple IEDs, and you're just, okay, we're going to clear it in a day and a half, let people stroll through the Sugar Bowl. It blows my mind. I could not believe that. And if I may say, I watched a lot of news during the holiday break, a lot of news. And watching the news reports of down in New Orleans, it was kind of a shit show. And I'm sorry, but watching the local authorities and the FBI, they were not on the same page, and there is still a lot of blame game going on. It felt fragmented. It felt off. Nobody knew what was going on. It was chaotic. And that was all of them, not just one. I can understand the initial press conference when they're still trying to piece everything together, when everything's just happening. I can understand that. But pretty much every press release that they had was the same. It was chaos. It was disjointed. I don't know. It was bizarre. Vegas seemed a little bit more under control. And let me ask, why are there so many translator, for the ASL? Does everyone who speaks, like the local authorities, the FBI, does everybody have their own translator? I don't know. I'm puzzled by that, because I am always fascinated by the sign language translator. I am always fascinated by them because I'm learning ASL. And I never understand why they switch so often. I don't know. I find that weird. So if anybody knows, please let me know. I'm quite curious. But it was just bizarre. I just cannot believe that they opened it up so quickly for the Sugar Bowl. But it went on without a hitch. But now we have to prepare for the Super Bowl. That's in New Orleans. So all eyes are on you, Nola. All eyes are on you. But that scary, tragic situation in New Orleans. And we knew people that were there celebrating. So it definitely hit a little too close to home for us. Awful. And our hearts go out to the family, loved ones, anyone who knew or loved anyone that lost their life in that tragedy. I am so sorry. Our hearts go to you. That is just awful. So just keep your eyes open. Like I said, if you see something, say something. And so you've got the Super Bowl coming up. You have inauguration coming up in DC. Today was a little bit, there was in one level, everything was shut down in DC because of the storm. But today in DC was also a significant day. Today was January 6th, right? So historically, always a very important day. It's the day that they certify the election results of the presidential election. That went forward without a hitch. Smooth. It was certified. But it's also the anniversary of the attack on the Capitol 4 years ago. So there's that. Now with tensions high, like we said, we've already started off the new year, on a very bumpy road. So we have the inauguration. I'm sure security is going to be unbelievably high. I'm sure. Not DC's first rodeo with these things. Definitely not with some of the protests that's going on the last several years with the different administrations in and out. I'm sure it is going to be very high. So if you are there, if you are participating, or just as a spectator for the inauguration, if you see something, say something. Same thing applies for the Super Bowl, and same thing applies for anything wherever you may be, with anywhere, small crowds, large crowds, bus, trains, airports, sports arenas, concerts, anything. Something looks unusual, it's okay. See something, say something. It could save lives. Okay? So that's just where we are right now in the air, and it's like I said, tensions are high. So can we just be kind to each other? Just enjoy the wonderful things of the New Year's. There's a lot to look forward to, right? So there. So let's move on to some happier news. We just had the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes were yesterday. Nikki Glaser, a comedian, she was amazing. She hit the nail right on the head. She really did. Hats off to her. I find her to be a really fantastic comedian. She's funny, she's smart, she's witty. Her timing's great. She keeps it really on with the current topics, everything that's happening now. She gives me a modern feel of Joan Rivers. She can give sarcasm. She can give gentle jokes. She can just give, tongue-in-cheek kind of jokes. She can give hard jokes. She can go in for the kills, and we know she did with the Tom Brady roast. God, she was unbelievable during the Tom Brady roast. She killed it. And she put her name in the history books with comedians on that roast. She was already there, but that one propelled her for sure, the Tom Brady roast. She killed it last night. I didn't watch all of the Golden Globes. I can't. It's too painful. I'm sorry, guys. Whoever does the production of the Golden Globes, you have got to keep it moving. I don't need these little skits in between with the announcers who are going to announce the award. It was weird. The timing was off. It didn't gel. And it just took up too much time. Just keep it moving. Let the whoever the host is do their thing and keep it moving. Time is of the essence. People are not going to keep people's attentions are short these days. Okay. So just keep it moving. It is an unnecessary waste of time. Just get to the awards, please. And we just want the outfits and the awards. Give it to us, right? And sorry, just hit the mic there. But she killed it. She was great. Her opening monologue, spot on. You could see how everybody seemed a little reserved, like she was going to go in for the kill, like she did with the Tom Brady roast. But she announced it right off the bat. I'm not going to roast anybody. I'm here just to have a good time. She still gave some really good ones. She did, of course, go with the Diddy joke and nailed that one. It was really funny. Of course, we were all wondering if it was going to hit. She did hit it, but it was a soft landing. It was delicate. And how she did a spinoff with the Stanley Tucci instead of baby oil, it's olive oil, was kind of funny. It was really kind of funny. She was good. She was really good. I liked it. But like I said, let's get rid of the other skits. Just get to the awards. Keep it moving. Congratulations to Zoe Saldana. Awesome. Ali Wang, amazing. Kathy Bates, you look fantastic. Jean Smart, oh, I love you. I cannot tell you enough about the show Hacks. I love it. It's definitely one of my favorite shows. The timing, the writing, the comedy, it's great. And she still kills it. And I love Jean Smart, and kudos to you. Demi Moore, amazing. So many great winners. It's hard to get into all of them. Shogun was the major winner, and the people who won for Shogun, the actors and everybody who was a part of that, phenomenal series. how excited they were that they won. It was just so great. I'm telling you, if you have a snow day, if you have a sick day, if you weren't able to watch that series Shogun, while you were through the holidays, I cannot recommend enough. That show series was amazing, just different. And I love history. I'm such a history geek. And even though I think it was just based on a Japanese legend, I think is what I read it was on. I'm not 100%, but just the historical component behind it. And it just, I mean, everything, the sets, the costumes, the writing, the characters, the cast. Awesome. Awesome. Shogun. But they were the huge takeaway. It was well done. I guess, like I said, just for all the other shows, and they've been really struggling for a while. Nikki Glacier, awesome. Well done. Great. And I would also like to say a very special congratulations to Zendaya and Tom Holland. TMZ broke the news that they are officially engaged. She had the ring on her finger during the Golden Globes yesterday. First of all, she is just gorgeous. She is so gorgeous. She is living her best life right now. I should say, riding that hot wave. She is. But I mean, but it is a hot moment for her, though. I mean, she's in everything, and she is just killing it in everything she's doing. She is the full package. She's everything. She's amazing. And he is phenomenal too. They are going to be such a power couple. And I think they are such an adorable couple. They both started out in the entertainment world at such a young age. So they seem to me like they are just wise beyond their years and kind of like old souls. So I just think they're such an adorable couple. I love it when you see them out at baseball games or like shopping in like Neiman Marcus, or was it Neiman Marcus or Nordstrom's, one of those, like in the mall. I mean, they're just so normal, and I like that about them. They're just a really cute, normal power couple. So congratulations to them. Just cute, just very cute. I really like them a lot. So I don't know what you have been able to catch up on, but TV is coming back, and I am so happy about it. We had first of all, Super Bowl coming up. Great games leading up to this. It's right around the corner. We're already in January, February right around the corner. Football has been great. I am not a huge fan of football, but I have been really enjoying this season. Of course, I have talked about it before. I love the Ravens, so I am really enjoying this season. They are killing it. They're being amazing. Commanders, you have done a very good job. I was a little nervous this past game. Thank goodness. So, but football is not only just the players, but there's been a lot in the news with the players about theft in their homes and just other things. So it's just, I mean, my goodness, and injuries, and my heart still goes out to Randy Moss. Randy Moss, I am thinking of you. We are all thinking of you. You get better. I hope you're getting your rest as you're going through your treatment. We are thinking of you. But it's just, I mean, these men are overworked. They are at the end of the season, but all this stuff in the news about the thefts of their homes, and they're just traveling a lot. I feel for them. I really do. I mean, like there was, I was reading an article. God, where was I? Pardon me. I don't remember which source it came out of, but they were saying how, the NFL players, their, schedules, it's listed, when they're going to be in the road. So how they're trying to put, precautions out for the players because of all these high profile thefts that have happened. So, it's a weird time. Let's go over to TV. I'm so happy TV's coming back. Netflix is pumping out the new shows. So's Peacock. I'm happy. We need shows back. I don't think I could watch another repeat. I don't think I could watch another game show. I don't think I could watch another Christmas movie. I could not watch them. So if you have an opportunity, like I said, Showtime, Paramount Plus, really cranking them out. Lioness is back on. The Agency is another really good show series that is out. I do want to backtrack. I just found out on the Golden Globes, since Shogun was such a season and just cleaned house at the Golden Globes, they're actually preparing to film another season. I didn't know that they were going to have another season. I thought that it was just a one season and done. Evidently, preparing for another season. So super excited about that. So go back. So Showtime, Paramount Plus, you've got Lioness, you have The Agency. Very good. Season 2 you can already see the full season 2 of Lioness. Agency is airing every Friday. Very good. If you go over to Peacock has The Traitors is going to be airing this week. Yes, I think I said it's Thursday. I think the 9th is when it's airing. So that looks very good. You've got some of the housewives. You got people from Big Brother. You got people from Survivor. You've always got to have somebody in there from RuPaul's Drag Race. The trailer for Traitors season 3 dropped the other day, and I was watching it, and I was like, who is that gorgeous individual in the blue? I don't know. Was it jumper with the feathers? RuPaul's Drag Race. You've always got to have one. And is it wrong that I need to talk to this individual and I need to find out who you are, because as you were doing the quick little interviews and the trailer, you were so awesome. And I kind of want to get a little bit of your fashion sense, because I loved that cobalt blue that you were wearing with the hat. Everything. Dolores is there. You've got Dorinda, Robin Dixon. We'll see how she does. Chanel Ayan. I don't know what she's gonna do, but she should definitely be entertaining. You got some of your Bravo people there. Tom freaking Sandoval. I don't need to see you anymore, but this is, I guess, your final hurrah. Because Vanderpump Rules is not coming back. So there's a reboot. Well, it's coming back, but it's a total reboot. The old cast, I should say. The old cast, not coming back. There's a reboot. So there is that. And if you jump over to, I think it was Peacock. I have to double check. But there is a new series out called Lockerbie. And Colin Firth is in it. And he's a really good actor. You've seen him do comedy. You've seen him do drama. He does a lot of drama. But wow. This was about the terrorist attack, airplane attack over Lockerbie, Scotland, in December of 1988. And I was very young when that happened, but I actually remember it because Christmas time, and it was just awful. And I remember everybody that was around for the holidays. It was the topic of conversation, and it was just shocking. It was tragic. It was a terrorist attack, which is a little too close, to we're just talking about what's already happened in the new year with New Orleans and Vegas. It's a little sensitive, but it is a very, 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 very good series. I was shocked at all the scenes in Scotland, what actually the damage that happened to Scotland, to the people on the ground. Wow. I don't, like I said, I was very young, and I don't remember a lot of the news talking so much about the damage on the ground from the explosion. And that first few minutes it's intense. Like, I mean, they go right into it where you see the people boarding the plane and boom, and the explosion of the plane. And then all the people in Scotland that were on the ground and just the damage and the destruction and the fires and the people killed. And I don't remember seeing that side so much aired in the news. I'm sure they did. I just don't remember that much. I just remember so much about talking about the actual explosion of the airplane and then to come to find out following that it was a terrorist attack and all that. I did not get to finish watching this. I only got through a little bit of it. There's so much going on. But I cannot wait to get back and watch it. It was so good in the very little that I was able to watch. I cannot wait. I will be actually watching it later on. I can't wait to get back to watch it. It was that good. And so, in Colin Firth was a dad of a girl that was killed on the airplane, and he ends up being kind of like the spokesperson for the British families to get answers because they really weren't getting it from the British government. They really weren't getting it from the airlines. It was kind of like a hush hush kind of thing, and they wanted answers. And so he was really pushing forward for the investigation to continue to move forward and for the family to actually get answers for their lost loved ones. And it was really good. And like I said, it hits a little too close with everything that's happening, but you need to keep these things fresh in your mind because terrorism isn't going away. And we need to remember these things it's important to remember history because if you don't, history does repeat itself. Remember, remember, remember. That was 1988 and these things are still happening now. So think about that. But that show was absolutely fantastic. The Real Housewives of Potomac came back. She's back. So thank goodness we're going to start getting back. Let's bring back Beverly Hills, Salt Lake City, Southern Charm. Southern Charm actually did air last week. I did watch a few episodes on Peacock. I broke. I couldn't help it. I did. Because there was really nothing on. I'm really trying Southern Charm. I'm really trying. It's been a lot. But the Real Housewives of Potomac, thank God you came back. I'm happy to see my girls back. Not a lot happened. Karen, I want to know what is happening with your eye. Is it, and I'm asking this out of a place of concern because it's always stuck. Is it the adhesive from your eyelashes? Question. Have you ever seen anybody who's had an eye job done? I don't know if she had a blepharoplasty or the upper done. I don't know. But it just, after that, it's like a spasm. It doesn't really shut all the way. Sometimes they get that extra dry eye. I don't know what's going on, but I can't look away. And I'm sorry, I feel bad. I'm not judging. What is happening? Jacqueline, I'm troubled with everything that's happening with you. I'm still having a hard time, Jacqueline. I am. But if I may say, the new girl, Stacy, you're starting to see that the cattiness come out. And this is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for her to get a little comfortable, for her to come out for her shell. So suddenly you actually start to see the real her, and it's coming. And she's a little catty. She's getting a little, making some kind of, snide kind of comments. We're seeing it. Here it is. The real Stacy's coming out. So let's see how that plays out. We're still waiting for the other girls to, to kind of step up. Not seeing too much of it lately. And Mia, you got to figure your stuff out, girl. You really do. I'm waiting for Beverly Hills to come back. I'm waiting for Salt Lake City because that is just a bubbling cauldron of chaos. Can we please bring back Miami? I am ready for Miami, girls. I want to see what Alexis is going to say or do now that she's split with Todd. That whole relationship, I want to know. I want to know. I wanted to have a girls' trip, right? And they all start talking. Alexis starts to break down because she's always a little guarded. And I get it. She's always a little guarded. But when that shell breaks and she starts crying, I want to know what really happened. I want to know. You don't really know a lot. There's been some weird stories that have kind of come out in the press, but I want to know what's going on or what did go on. It was a short relationship. There was a lot of turmoil. We all knew her son, who I'm not going to trust his judgment. They definitely had issues. They butted heads. Not Frankie. Frankie is so sweet and adorable. But I want to know what happened there. And I feel for Alexis. I really do. I think she thought this was it after that whole thing with her ex-husband after he passed and him finding out that he had a lover. And I think, she handled that gracefully. I mean, she talked about it on the show, but Herman, that was his name. She talked about it on the show, but I think this was her time. She had another young, I don't know how old Todd was, but, this is her moment, and it really crumbled quite quickly and disastrously. And you can say what you want about Adriana. She was the one saying, I've heard things and, is everything okay? And I think she's putting on a front and I understand. But, when there's smoke, there's fire, and she called it. And although Adriana's messy and she can be a little gross how messy she gets sometimes, she's usually quite right. And she's been right in the past. She also said a lot about Lisa's ex and that whole thing. Remember how that was so messy 2 seasons ago. So I'm excited. Bring me Miami. It's cold and snowy here, so I want warm and sunny. We know Dubai is gone. What else? Are we going to get a new housewife? Are we going to get some new shows? I need some new shows. I need a little something fresh. I need something new on the menu. Please give me that. And I did want to say there was a show I kind of stumbled across accidentally. And that, well, there's 2. There was one, it was, St. Dennis about the medical show. Oh my God, that was really funny. If you have a chance, if you like any kind of medical shows, it kind of gives me a little bit of Scrub, but a little bit of a newer take on it. Really super funny. That cast works really well together. I stumbled across a show on Amazon on Prime with Elon Manny, where he, has an NFL player go undercover. That was hilarious. So their new stuff is coming out. Netflix is pumping them out left and right. It was really interesting going back to the Golden Globes. When you heard the winners getting up there to, giving their acceptance speeches, it was interesting to me to hear how many times I kept saying, thank you to Hulu. Thank you to Netflix. Like, I felt like I kept hearing like Netflix like over and over and over again. So, and HBO Max, because we had the Penguin, Colin Farrell. God, I mean, he's great in that show. That show did pretty well too. So it's back, baby. It's back. Wicked did huge, but I do want to say that for number 1 movie in 2024, Inside Out 2. That was such a good movie. And then they had a little spinoff called DreamWork Production, where it was the Dream Crew. They kind of did like their own little series. If you have an opportunity to watch that, it is so cute. But I wanted to give credit to Inside Out too, because I just thought that that was such a good movie. And it didn't win. I think Wicked took it for that category, but I still haven't seen Wicked. I know. I'm sorry. I will get there. I'm such a fan of the original. I don't know if I don't know. We'll get there. We'll get there. But I really, really enjoyed some of the shows that I got to watch. So you also have on Netflix the new Jerry Springer documentary called Lights, Camera, Action. Haven't had a chance to watch that. I definitely want to. I can tell you Jerry Springer was definitely a constant in my college days. I mean, I remember in college, like people would sit there and like schedule around Jerry Springer. So they would go in and be like, man, I'm going to go back to the dorm and go watch Jerry Springer, go back to my apartment and watch Jerry Springer in between class. Or I only do class on Tuesdays and Thursdays so I can catch up. I mean, like, it was just crazy. Like, he was so huge. So you've got, Jerry Springer's documentary. You have, what was the other one? The Night Agent is back. I mean, they are bringing it out on HBO Max. They have some new shows coming out. They have a new show called The Pit. There is a new season or new series that kind of like House Dragon-esque, if you will, kind of that time period kind of piece. It's called A Night of Seven Kingdoms. So they are cranking them out left and right. In 2025, it's also could be the year of, I would say, large court cases as well. You're going to have the Diddy case come up. And if cameras are allowed in the courtroom, I mean, I don't know anybody who's just not going to watch that. I don't. I think that's going to be on in every office lunchroom, in break room. It's going to be on the cars, on podcasts. I mean, everybody's going to be talking about it. And I have to tell you, I think during some of this year, during some of these large court cases, I might actually do some live streaming because I kind of love that stuff. I feel like I missed an opportunity during that whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp case because that thing was just crazy. So, but I mean, everybody's curious. We want to know what's going on. That case is so large and has so many like departments. It's not just, I mean, it's racketeering, it's trafficking, there's a lot alleged, but there's a lot. So that could be long and lengthy. I mean, it's going to be a lot of witnesses. I mean, is it just one? Is it case? Is it multiple? I have no idea. But you're going to have to wait for the Diddy case, which is going to be crazy. Then we're probably going to have the CEO healthcare case, the Mangione case, and that I think is going to get a lot of attention. That's if cameras are allowed in the courtroom. I think that's going to get a lot of high viewing. And now we have that whole Blake Lively and Baldoni. He said, she said situation. I personally think this is getting ugly now. It's getting ugly. There are lawsuits involved. There's defamation. Now they're suing, or he has sued the organization that broke the story. And so now there's all these different lawsuits involved, and there's publicists, and this to me feels very much like the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard kind of feel of a case. I think it's going to go in that direction. So if it does go to court, and if it does happen this year, I'm going to be watching that one too. I think that people want to know what goes on behind the scenes and what happens in those trailers. And he says he has the evidence to back up his story. She says she has hers. Now, the husband, Ryan Reynolds, has been brought into it because he said that Ryan Reynolds came up to Baldoni and in an aggressive, loud manner and berated him over it. Look, that's his husband. And if he feels like his wife is in an unsafe situation or an uncomfortable situation, of course he's going to say something. It's ugly, it's messy, but it's he said, she said. They both say they have the evidence, and we want to see the evidence, I think, as a public, because now we're all brought into it. So I think this is very much going to be like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. I really do. And I'm going to be watching that one as well. So I think this is not only going to have good shows, there's going to be interesting court cases. When is the whole Staten Island killer thing happening? Because that's got to be coming up soon too, right? Now, there's that guy that's on trial. He declares his innocence, but of course, let's see. I mean, but that's going to be huge. That's got to be coming up too. I mean, there's a lot of high profile cases supposed to be coming up in this year. Yeah, it's this year, 2025. Can't believe it. Here we are. That, if you are, kind of like that entertainment crime TV stuff, this is the year for you. It really is. There is another. Then you also have the Menendez case that could be overturned. Their conviction could be dismissed for time served. There was another case. It's going to be fascinating. It's going to be a fascinating year, and I am ready for it. So let's get ready for the movies. Let's get ready for the politics. Let's get ready for the courts. The crazy, strange news. I am bringing it. I did want to come back to the drone situations. The last several weeks of the show, we've talked a lot about the drones. I really haven't heard too much recently. It's very interesting. They were everywhere, and now in the holidays, you don't hear too much about it. What's going on? Or is nobody just looking up right now because of all the other news that's what's going on? So let's talk about that. But here we are, 2025, back in action, Polly Wine. So thank you so much for joining us today on the Polly Wine podcast. Please follow, like, and subscribe, and listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks so much, and have a great day. Bye.